friends, and welcome back to my homestead. This is Christmas season and I am so excited because I love to bake those old-fashioned recipes that come way back from my childhood. I already shared a recipe how I make Xrustiki, those nut-filled, gooey goodness, delicious sweet desserts, and I posted that a couple of days ago, and a few of my subscribers have written to me asking, well, hey Mama Lil, how am I supposed to make this without the special mold? So you're going to be happy to know that I have added links on the bottom of the description of that video where you can go ahead and purchase those molds so you can bake those Xrustiki. But today I want to make something that is also super old-fashioned. And once I say it, a lot of my Russian, Ukrainian, Polish friends will know what I'm talking about because that recipe is very popular in our the Slavic culture. So today I'm going to be making a very simple recipe. It's called Xvorost or Xrustiki. Basically, what in translation it's like brushwood. Literal translation is brushwood, I'm not kidding. But who wants to bake brushwood? So I know in American culture, some people have given it a name of angel wings. And the reason why they're called angel wings is because when that dough is frying in the oil, it turns into this fluffy, very delicate, almost crunchy, crusty kind of like little wings. And once we dust some sugar powder on top, it's gonna look like fluffy angel wings. So today I'm gonna be making angel wings for my American friends, English speaking friends. For my Russian speaking friends, I'm making Xrustiki. Okay, so very simple recipe. The few things I'm gonna need is flour, okay? I'm gonna need a couple of eggs. I'm gonna need a little bit of vanilla, which is optional. Obviously I'm gonna need a lot of powdered sugar because that's how I'm gonna fluff everything up at the end. I'm gonna just need a pinch of salt, literally just a pinch of salt. And next item that I have is optional, it's vodka. Now I know there's a lot of households that do not use any alcohol, and I grew up without using any alcohol. We had alcohol-free house. But I did find that alcohol from vodka will make them fluffier and they will kind of bubble up more when you're frying. And then of course we're gonna need oil, and we're gonna need a lot of oil, and it has to be fragrance-free oil. So I do not recommend olive oil because you need something with a higher burning point. So I am using sunflower oil just because that's what I grew up with. But if you want to use corn oil or any other vegetable oil for frying, that's up to you. And we're probably going to require about 2 cups of that. Now you may say, well, that's a lot, but remember, you can recycle it. You can strain it and recycle it and use it. So let me start by making my dough. Now the dough that we're going to be making likes to be a little bit on the tight side, okay? So we're going to be breaking our eggs, if I can break them today, and we're going to be whipping them a little bit. We're going to be whipping them a little bit with a pinch of salt, okay? And then I will add other ingredients. ready. But at this point, I'm gonna let this dough sit on my counter for a few minutes. I will cover so it doesn't get dried, and I'm just gonna let it rest. And I'm gonna let it rest because I have to get the oil going. So as soon as I started working on this recipe, it is important to heat the oil. And I have a thick bottom pot that I have. It's a cast iron pot that I have, and I put 1 quart of sunflower oil in there, and I'm going to warm it up. It takes a little while. So my dough is pretty much ready, and it's softer, much softer than it was before. It rested for a few minutes. So to make my life a little easier, I'm going to cut this dough into 4 sections, and I'm gonna work with only 1 section at a time. Okay, and I'm gonna let the other ones still sit there and rest. All right, so I'm gonna roll this dough out. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of flour on the surface, and I'm gonna roll this bad boy out. Now here's the thing, we have to roll this out very, very thin. How thin? Ridiculously thin. So thin that you pretty much should be able to see the table on the other side. And then we're gonna cut them out into little strips and make these little angels out of them, or as we grew up calling them, Xrustiki or Xvorost. What depends on where you grew up, depends where you're from. People call them different names. So this was a very, very affordable for many families in a Soviet time, because it did not call for very exotic or difficult ingredients. All it needed was a little bit of egg, flour, and most Russian households did have vodka, except for ours. We were not drinkers. Can you see the spots of my table on the other side? Isn't that fun? All right, so it's thin enough. All right, I'm just gonna make sure the edges are also nice and thin. All right, so now it doesn't look very pretty, but now I need to cut them into strips. You may use something like a rolling pin like this, like for raviolis, or if you don't have one of those, just use a regular knife. It does not matter. So we're gonna cut them into long strips like this. If they're really, really long, I can cut them a little shorter because no need for such long ones. Okay, so let me just cut everything in strips first. All right, so let's go with this one first. So I'm not gonna trim this one. So basically all you need to do is make a hole in the middle, okay? And then you put this on the inside just like this, okay? So basically you have something like this. I'm gonna put them on the cooking sheet and just pile them all up when they're ready for baking. Now this one is, I find, is way too long, so I'm gonna cut them shorter. Again, make a slit in the middle. Okay, just like that. Next, slit in the middle. And they fry so quickly because this dough is so thin. Now we don't want the oil really hot that it's gonna burn quickly, but these little Xrustiki will be done in about 30 seconds, 15 seconds each side. Look at this, isn't this something? Quick. So my daughter just shared a trick with me. She says, Mom, do you know how to check if the oil is ready for frying? You take a wooden spoon and you stick it into the oil, and if it bubbles, it's ready. So let's see if her trick is right. It's bubbling! Oh my gosh, so much fun. All right. Well, my thermometer says that it's about 325. So I think that's a good temperature to fry in. So I'm just gonna get a couple of forks ready because I'm gonna need them when I need to flip the my little Xrustiki. All right, so I'm going to grab one and it's going to be my tester. So I'm dropping it in. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that something? I'm going to flip them around. And it's twisting and it's churning. Because you don't want them to be brown. You want them to be nice pale yellow. So about 15 seconds on each side. And this bad boy is done. I'm gonna take him out. So I have a cookie sheet ready with some just paper towels just to absorb the extra oil. All right, let me cook a few more and I'll show you what it looks like. Should take this guy out. It's in my way now. All right, I think it's done. Take them out, cool them off, absorb the extra oil. All right, so let them cool off a little bit. I'm gonna keep on frying. So it's always useful to have one person rolling out the dough, the other person is making this little Xvorost, and one person is just frying. So it's very, very quick dessert. Okay, so the last step is I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit of powdered sugar. And look at that.